Moving through the second month now of session, Senator, give us an update on where some of the issues you're interested in are in the course of time here.
One of the issues that many of my constituents have asked about is the Real ID law. There's some concern there about the requirements that the federal government has handed down to the states and mandated that the states comply with. And this really leads to a broader discussion about the role of the federal government when interacting with the individual states. One of the issues I'm very concerned about is state sovereignty. And when we see mandates like Real ID come down from the federal government, it serves as a distraction to the broader conversation of what the states should be complying to. So I haven't supported the Real ID initiative. I haven't supported the federal government mandates that have come down from Washington, D.C., and I plan to take that opposition onto the floor of the Senate when the Real ID bill comes through. I think there will be a solution, but I think we have to find that solution in a manner that doesn't compromise the sovereignty of the state of Missouri.
Real ID, if I'm not mistaken, goes back to some of the post-September 11th issues, and another one of these, this would be a singular identification card for everybody, even though we all have Social Security numbers, et cetera.
It was originally passed in 2005 as a requirement from the federal government, and actually in 2009, the Missouri State Legislature passed a resolution indicating that we would not comply with those requirements because we did feel like this was an overreach of the federal government. Now, the conversation has come up again because there are a lot of folks that are concerned that if we don't comply, we're going to be denied boarding onto airplanes. We're going to be not allowed to get on military installations. I think some of those concerns are a bit overblown, and I think that this is the proper battlefield, as it were, to discuss what the role of the federal government is, which is why I've opposed Real ID legislation in the past. I voted against it in the committee hearing that we had just a couple weeks ago, and I plan on opposing it moving forward. I also signed a letter, along with a number of my other Senate colleagues, that we sent to the Missouri State Attorney General, Josh Hawley, and that letter encouraged him to push back from his office as well against Real ID legislation.
Also for you, a bill that you filed, I believe, this week that deals with charter schools.
Charter schools. Of course, we have charter schools right now in Kansas City and St. Louis. What I like more than anything else about charter schools is that it introduces an element of competition in our schools. I'm a parent myself, and like every parent in the state of Missouri, we want the best education possible for our children. But the charter schools provide opportunities that many public schools don't. And by opening up the playing field of K-12 education to a little bit of competition, I think it encourages everyone to do a better job of educating our kids. And so I've been supportive of that. We introduced a statewide expansion of charter schools this week on the Senate floor.
Safe to say that charter schools, where they have been tried, have proven their effectiveness, and hence the legislation you're introducing, ready for it to move on.
Absolutely. And from everything that I've seen, charter schools provide a great environment, and they meet a need that in many cases our current public school system cannot meet. Now, I'm a supporter of public education as well, but I think that charter schools can add a needed element of choice for parents, and ultimately I think it's a good thing for parents to have that choice over their children's education.